we have to be careful with words. Mafia, mob, gang. When some relatives of mine came back from Haiti, this was a couple of years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. They came back from Haiti and they told us about the gang problem. First of all, when you go down there, what you have to do, the very first thing you have to do is make sure that you go down there with plain clothing, right? Nothing like true religion or, Timberlands or, what else is fashionable now? Make sure you look like a pauper. That's the gist of it. If you go down there looking like a like a typical American, then you become a target for kidnapping. They don't care how plain Jane you look. You could look as plain as you want. You'll still be a target for kidnapping. Okay? And the second thing is those relatives told me that the gangs, they don't look like the gangs that you typically think of. These guys are organized, they're highly trained. I mean, okay, on the surface, they do like little surface things that make them look like a gang. This is from them telling me. They do certain things that make them look like a gang. Narcotics and the cursing and swearing and stuff like that and the way they behave. But then when it comes down to actually doing violence, they told me that these guys are trained, militarily trained. So what are we looking at? We have to be careful with words. Let me read an article quickly for you. Matter of fact, let me actually share the screen first. Make sure that I'm sharing. All right. Ooh, what's with the vibrating? It's going to give somebody a seizure. All right. I'm home. I hope I'm sharing here. Okay. We don't need this yet. Good looking brother over here with the Haitian flag and the coat of arms. It's very rare that I see a flag with the coat for you. Uh, Before I start, let me actually, right? Let me do this right. Let me do this right. We have to be careful with words. Mafia, mob, all these sorts of things. Mafia, mob, gang. When forces form coalitions and they're militarily trained, are they still a gang? Are they still a mob? Are they still a mafia? Or are they an armed force? Today on the Brotep. Sorry about that. The gang's got me. You see what's going on here. Give me a minute. Let's actually begin. We'll do this for the playback. All right. It's only about 3 people here.
No! Run! Go!
It's Brotep!
I am Ripper, Tearer, Slasher, Gouger. I am the teeth in the darkness, the talons in the night. Mine is strength and lust and power. I am
Brotep! Brotep.
Is uniquely trained and highly motivated. A specialist without equal, immune to any countermeasures. There is no secret he cannot extract, no security he cannot breach, no person he cannot become. He has most likely anticipated this very conversation and is waiting to strike in whatever direction we move.
Right. So the family members told me that when they came back. Oh, wait, first.
You, turn around.
You prefer the view from behind?
No, well, yes. You know I can't lie.
Right. So sorry about that. I got yanked off stream. The gangs got me, but someone paid the ransom and I'm back. Okay, let's go ahead and read this article. Right? First of all, it's reading time. Reading time. Your Negro tap. Bro tap. It's reading time with your Negro, Brotep. Haiti massacres reveals Haiti massacres reveal active gang support from police officials. This sentence is very strange. This title is very strange. A new report by Harvard Law School and a Haitian Crime Observatory alleges that the state officials and police assisted in gang attacks that left hundreds of people dead, showing how the government has helped to unleash criminal violence on poor neighborhoods. The researchers lay out how the government of Haitian President Jovenel Moise allegedly took part in the state-sponsored massacres by providing gangs with money, weapons, police uniforms, and government vehicles. Stop. This is what my family members had told me when they came back from Haiti. They said that these gangs are official. So let's not play these games by calling them gangs anymore. These guys are trained like basically they told me the stuff you see like from SWAT people, those are the tactics like room clearing. These guys are holding the gun properly. They're not holding their guns like 90s rap videos. These guys are properly trained. So are they still a gang? And they have official stuff, official weaponry, official gear, bulletproof vests, all sorts of things. So are they still a gang? Right? And they seem to have a purpose. They have these harassing campaigns against people in certain neighborhoods, right? And those certain neighborhoods usually have or house political enemies, like they're hiding political enemies. So are they still a gang, or are they maybe a death squad or a force? Okay, let's continue here. These were used in three prolonged attacks on neighborhoods in Port-au-Prince between 2018 and 2020. According to the report published by Harvard Law School's International Human Rights Clinic and the Haitian Observatory of Crimes Against Humanity, Observatoire Haïtien des Crimes contre l'Humanité, OHCCH. Okay, see, look, Haitians, can you get with the times? Why would you not pick an acronym that rolls off the tongue? What's stop, man. CIA, FBI, like come on, man. Government officials also planned the attacks, and give me a second, let me highlight this. Former government officials also planned the attacks, and off-duty police officers helped carry them out, according to reports authors. See, that explains everything. These are former police, so they're police trained. That explains the tactical training. So they have room clearing training and advancing tactics, right? Pincer movements. My family members described all these things like these guys moved like military units. So this explains a lot. The most high profile of the attacks occurred between May and July 2020 when gangs stormed the commune of Cité Soleil, killing at least 145 people. The gangs involved in the attack were all allegedly part of the G9 en famille, G9 and family, an alliance brokered among at least 9 gangs in Port-au-Prince. The gang federation is led by Jimmy Cherizier, alias Barbecue, a former police officer who has a history of involvement in extrajudicial killings. Two armored vehicles prolonging not prolonging. Two armored vehicles belonging to the National Police passed through an area under G9 attack and shot at passerby at who wrote this? Passed through an area under G9 attack and shot at passerby in the direction of homes, killing at least 5 civilians in early July of last year, the report stated. In November 2019, Cherizier and members of 4 gangs, Delma 6, Base na Charbon, Delma 6, Base na Charbon, Crachet d'Ife, and St. Martin Street Gang. Let me translate for those of you who don't speak Creole or French, right? Base na Charbon is carbon base. Crachet d'Ife means Spitfire, and St. Martin Street Gang, that's self-explanatory, set houses ablaze and killed at least 24 people in a 4-day attack across Bel Air neighborhood. Undercover police officers attacked civilians alongside gang members in the Bel Air attacks, according to the report. What's going on? Let me ask you guys a question. What reason would gangs have to be attacking civilians? Are they looking for money? Are they looking for jewels? What are they attacking civilians for? We have to remember that these civilians, quote unquote, these civilians they're attacking, they're not carrying anything valuable. This is Haiti. So why are they attacking civilians? These aren't muggings. What's going on, right? A year earlier, 7 armed gangs overseen by Cherizier, remember that's the former police trained official. Cherizier attacked. Give me a second. Cherizier, overseen by Cherizier, carried out a massacre in the capital's La Saline slum. Why are you attacking slums? This is what's weird about it. Killing at least 71 people. At the time, Cherizier was still a police officer himself, while leading the Delma 6 gang. He already had a reputation for violence, having been linked to a massacre in the Grand Ravine neighborhood in 2017, the report confirmed. Give me a second. Let me get back here and make sure that I'm actually recording. Usually, sometimes this happens that I think I'm recording and I'm not, right? So let me get back to this here. Give me a second. See, the cops are involved. So the title of this video was basically a trick title. It's a trick question, right? Because we have to be careful with words. It's not a gang. How is it a gang? These are a compendium of gangs who have formed and brokered an alliance, and they're military trained, led by former military and former police. So how are they a gang? I'm starting to wonder if there aren't forces behind this who are labeling this a gang, because if they labeled it what it actually is, which is a death squad, if they labeled it what it actually is, a death squad, then the UN and other international policing forces would have to come in and fix the situation. And so if they call it a gang problem, then the country has to fix its own gang problem. If they call it an international problem like a death squad, the international community cannot stand by and watch a country tear itself apart with death squads. You guys see what I'm talking about? There are laws, there are international laws that help the world, against attacks against humanity. Let me continue here. Cherizier, hold on one second. I skipped a whole lot here. At the time, Duplan was the West Department's delegate, one of 10 government representatives appointed Hold on one second. I missed a whole lot. Witnesses reported that former government official Joseph Pierre Richard Duplan had been present during the attack in La Saline, talking to Cherizier and other gang members. According to the report, at the time, Duplan was the West Department's delegate, one of 10 government representatives appointed by President Moise across the country. Duplan, Duplan remained in office for another year after the attack. Cherizier, who appears to have played a central role in orchestrating and executing each of the attacks, operates with the assistance of police officers who facilitate his travel and ensure his safety, including during the course of criminal activities. So this guy has police bodyguards. He has armed police bodyguards while he's conducting these basically death squad attacks. So it's not a gang. Let's stop calling this a gang. All right. Facilitate his travel and ensure his safety, including during the course of criminal activities, according to the report, citing a Haitian human rights organization, the National Network for the Defense of Human Rights, Réseau National de Défense des Droits de l'Homme. And look at this. Come on, Haitians, man. Y'all making me look bad out here. Y'all want to hire me? Can y'all hire me to make your acronyms? Look, I'll hook you up, bro. I'll hook you up. I'll hook you up. I'll give you something that sound like Shield. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I mean? Insight crime analysis. The report's findings that the killings were orchestrated by state officials underscores how the government's desire to repress political dissent has bred long-standing ties among police, state officials, and criminal leaders in Haiti. The coordinated attack, the coordinated attacks. Give me a minute. Mhm. The coordinated attacks benefited both state officials and gang leaders. Officials have been able to clamp down on the opposition, while the gangs expanded territorial control. The gangs also gained strength from the use of state resources and backdoor payments from officials. This is not a gang problem. You don't have a gang problem. You have a corruption problem. You don't have a gang. These are not gangs. This is not a gang. This is a death squad, and it's also an armed let me see. I'd say maybe is it a press gang? I forgot what the proper wording is for it. An inside crime, an Insight Crime reported last year. As Insight Crime reported last year, several human rights groups have alleged that the G9 Alliance, how's that a gang? G9 Alliance has benefited from President Moise's protection. So it's a sanctioned military force. Let me find out that there's a whole civil war out there. You know what? It would be a civil war if there was an armed opposition. There isn't. What it is a death squad. Because when you have one side attacking another group of people who are unarmed, untrained, unprepared for battle, it's what's called a death squad. It's a massacre. It's not two equal forces going at each other. Anti-government, like what a civil war would be. Anti-government protests and subsequent backdoor negotiations between officials and gang leaders preceded both the La Saline and Bel Air attacks. Duplan and Fidnel Monchery, former Director General of Haiti's Interior Ministry, allegedly supplied Cherizier and his gang with weapons, police uniforms, and government vehicles. Come on, guys. So they have weapons, police uniforms, and government vehicles, and they're allied with one another. They formed an alliance, and they're militarily trained. How is this a gang? That's not a gang. To use in the La Saline attack, according to the report, citing witnesses, perpetrators of the attack later to use automatic weapons and machetes to attack residents of the slum. They were looking for somebody. They were looking for political opponents of whoever's in charge. According to the report, the United Nations warned that a lack of accountability contributed to an increase in gang attacks throughout 2020, including the attacks on Cité Soleil, where police resources were reportedly used on multiple occasions. Yeah, come on, man. Come on, let's stop playing games. Such government support, however, has led the gangs to grow to the point where they can no longer be reined in, allowing criminality to explode. Yeah, but come on, man. Stop playing games. I don't like being taken for an idiot. These are not gangs. Stop calling them gangs. But anyhow, uh just this other report here. I'm not gonna read the report. What I actually wanted to read was the it was kind of like, oh, where is this? I had something here. I had something here that was pretty funny. It was actually Haiti. Like Ah, well, I don't have it anymore. Basically, what it was is it was quotes from some Haitians, and it made me realize why I'm so petty and why I'm such a mess. I'm messy as hell, and it's the the guys on there, like they quoted them, and the quotes were like, President Moise, you're a thief," like directly addressed them, and then now I realize where I get all this stuff from. I'm undeniably Haitian because I get messy as hell. I'm undeniably Haitian. So when I call out Macho and like I call him by name and then I stop and I address him, you guys notice that pattern? Like I don't talk about him just like in the abstract. When I'm like, and then guys like Macho, and then I'm like Macho. If you're listening, that's straight from that's straight from my people. Apparently, I inherited that from them. You know, but here are things that we have to be careful of. We have to be careful with language because you're looking at the screen right here. This is a gang. This is a gang, and they're wearing police uniform, right? They're using the guns properly. They're far from being special forces. I'll give you that, right? But they're brandishing the weapons properly, right? No trigger discipline there, which worries me. But they're supposedly a gang, so what am I worried about, right? But I think what we're looking at is an ongoing civil war. I think what we're looking at is an ongoing civil war. That's what we're looking at. Okay. No one wants to call it that due to whatever the loopholes that they're looking for to avoid or to actually get into to avoid a particular set of laws. They've stopped calling it a civil war and they're calling it, you know, gangs. All right. But if you're going into neighborhoods where there's nothing to rob, nothing to steal, what's a gang doing there attacking civilians? It makes no sense. And it's not like the Hutus and Tutsis because it's not like two different groups in there and then they have long-standing tribal ties, right? And tribal rivalries and they're attacking the other tribe just because. No, it's one people. It's only that a number of them are militarily trained, officially armed, wearing official clothing, bulletproof vests, uniforms, all sorts of things, helmets. Look at the helmets. And they're attacking the people, looking for someone, looking for political dissenters. And we also have president that whose term was supposed to be over months ago, who's still there. He's still there. No respect for the Constitution. No respect. Anyhow, that's been the that's been the report for the day. I'm doing these streams short from now on, all right? Because I noticed that when it's just us lingering around, a lot of time gets wasted. But if if it's a shorter time, people come in. Oh, I didn't actually bring in the link. Let me bring in the link in case someone wants to chime in here and there. Because there's 7 or 8 of you, probably 10. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. If you're on any social media platform, go ahead, share a link to this video, share a link to the platform. Let's grow the platform. Currently, we're at 100 subs. I want for us to be at 200 subs. If you don't mind doing that for me, tell your friends about this site. Well, they know about YouTube, not the site. Tell your friends about this channel. All right. We're covering news. We're covering pop culture. We're covering movies. We're covering streaming shows. Anything that you might be interested in, which by coincidence are things that I'm interested in. Right. A lot of people are saying or are telling me that my channel covers too much. Well, my channel covers things that I like and things that I love. Okay. And, I love where I come from, which is Haiti. And I love movies. I love comic books. I love pop culture. So I cover all these things. You know what I mean? And it looks like there are a lot of you, according to the subs, not too much, but a lot of you, quite a bit, 100 or so, who actually like the same things. So welcome aboard. But let's get the platform to maybe 200. Let's do that. Or let's go the Snyder route. Let's make it 300. Can we aim for that? Let's do a 300. Let's do that. But anyhow, I'm glad you guys stopped by. I will be doing another stream when I come back later on. Thanks for stopping by.